Okay, guys, this is Teacher Talita here. I currently work for Qkids, and I've only been doing it for like a couple of weeks, so I am a newbie. I will say thus far, I really enjoy working for Qkids because once you set your schedule, they go ahead and assign you classes. So it's not like I've done VIP Kid too, but that's more so where you have to assign your own classes. But anyways, doing Qkids, I decided that I was going to kind of stack my Saturday and Sunday and then my Friday night because I'm also what they call a brick and mortar teacher. I teach third grade at a school during the week, so it's really hard to get those classes in before work. And if I do, I just teach one before work. But today I had 3 classes scheduled back to back. The very first class went very well. I only had one student that was absent, but the rest of the class went pretty well. The second class, I entered the class at the 5-minute mark, and when I entered it, to my surprise, no one was there. It was blank. Everybody was offline. So I am a part of this Facebook group. It's called Qkids Newbie on Facebook. And yes, you do have to get approved for that particular group once you get your teacher code, but it was a simple process and it was very helpful in figuring out next steps. So the first thing I did was exit the classroom, then I re-entered, and to my surprise, no one was still there. So after I sent a message to the CCT team, they actually said checking on it. And then I noticed one student popped in the class and she said, "Oh, well, you have this student." And of course, I proceeded to teach. And then as I started teaching, I had kids that trickled in. Now, they trickled in fairly early. And, I don't know exactly the time limit for how long you should wait before you mark them as late. But to me, if it's only a minute or two, I mean, heck, I'm a minute or two late a lot of places. So I don't really count that as late unless they miss a substantial part of the lesson. But then we went through, I started teaching the lesson, got to the summary slide and started teaching, and my app quit unexpectedly. When you want to talk about you don't know the level of panic, I have never panicked like that because you have to panic, but you have to do it internally because you still have to act like everything's okay. It quit. So I reopened it. And then when I reopened it, it must have upgraded my app or something because it asked me some initial questions about my schedule, and I already had my schedule set. And I was panicking because I'm like, every second that I'm away from those students, they're probably going to call their parents over and be like, "Hey, this teacher just disappeared." So anyways, I went through the questions like really quickly. I logged back in the app, logged back in the classroom, and actually, and this worked out really well. All the kids were still there, which, maybe in my heart, when you panic and something goes wrong, it feels like it was way longer than it actually was. But I thought, oh my gosh, these kids are going to be gone. And then I'm going to get red tags because I disappeared. But I just jumped back in like nothing was wrong. And we finished up the summary slide. And then we went ahead to the reward slide. So that happened during my second class. Then my last class for today, or my third class today, I logged in at the 5-minute mark. Same situation as the second class. There were no kids there. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to send a message. But almost right at the time that class was going to begin, the kids started coming in. So I actually took probably about 30 seconds into the actual lesson to still introduce, because I still think it's important for them to know who I am during this process. So I did go ahead and introduce myself, and then I went through the lesson. Now, as I go through this particular lesson, all the kids were, they were responding to me. But the problem was, I guess when the app reloaded, it muted my headset. But it wasn't a button on my headset that got muted. It was the computer some kind of way. And so I'm panicking because at this point, I'm reading lips. Okay. And I hate to admit it, but I literally was reading lips. I couldn't hear a thing. So I did all the introductions and I was like, "What's your name?" And I would watch them to see if they responded. And I'd be like, "Are you happy?" And I'd make a face or sad, and they'd go happy, And I'm like, great. Mind you, they can hear me perfectly. I can't hear anything they're saying, even during introductions. So they introduced themselves, couldn't hear them. Probably the first 3 or so slides, I went solely on reading their lips. But in the meantime, I'm in the background panicking, trying to figure out, can I make it through a 28-minute lesson with them hearing me and me not hearing them and pretending. But then I thought, I don't really want to go through the whole lesson like that, because I feel like if I had have gone through the lesson with them not being, me not being able to hear them, I couldn't really correct if there were any errors. So I was getting ready to type a message to CCT, and I kept playing with my sound. I was like, what's wrong? I unplugged the headset, plugged it back in. I went in my settings and tried to figure it out. And I finally looked, and there was a mute button, because I have an option to have the sound from the computer or from my headset. And I swapped them back and forth. It didn't do anything. There was a little box that had a check mark in it that said mute. And I finally clicked it, and then I could hear the students, and I finished the rest of the lesson. Now, honestly, I don't think they noticed that I could not hear them, because I tried to be real animated, and I tried to respond, appropriately to them. And if I didn't see their lips moving, because one girl was chowing down on some dinner while she was doing the lesson. And so since I saw her doing that, I'd be like, okay, I was like, could you say this? And then I'd watch her lips while it was silent. But just know, if that ever happens to you, that's how I handled it. I just kept going like nothing was wrong, because they could hear me just fine. So I was able to fix that error. And then we made it through all the slides, and we got to the reward slide. Now, when you get to the reward slide, those stickers, if you have not learned your stickers, then you really need to go through at the very least and figure out where all the transportation is. You need to know where the big diamonds are. And the characters are a little bit harder, because you have one set of stickers that have stuff like transportation, food, etc. And then you have, the kids can get stickers of bunny ears, or they get a Spider-Man face or a clown face or glasses or whatever. So first of all, you have to know the difference between the sticker on the main page and then the stickers that they can get, which is attached to just their face. But after that, you have to know the names of the characters, because this little girl, and stickers times always gets me anxious, because I'm like, what if I don't know what they want or what they're saying? Most kids will kind of give an alternative. If they can see you're struggling, they'll be like, okay, this, and you're like, what? And they finally go, Momo, and you're like, okay, I know Momo, or okay, I know, Kobe Koala. But this one little girl today, or they'll just say, no, I don't want a sticker. This one little girl, she was adamant that she started pulling out toys, and I couldn't tell, the toy. First she said something that sounded like Elsa, and I said, oh, Elsa. And at first she said, yeah, but then she was like, no, not. And she showed me this little thing that looked like Elsa. And I thought, okay, well, I can't find an Elsa. Dang it. I don't see an Elsa. So then I thought, maybe I'll do a crown or something and she'll be happy. She's like, no. Everything I put up there, she's like, no. So then she pulls out this superhero looking thing. So I thought, maybe I'll pull out Iron Man. I did a Spider-Man mask. One Spider-Man, just to let you know. I pulled out Iron Man. I pulled out some of the other superhero masks. She's like, no, not that. So then I think she was messing with me. But then she went to go get something else. I think she said something about a bear. I gave her bear ears. She was like, no. And so then finally she said, bed, I want to go to bed. I said, okay, you want to go to bed? So she climbed in the bed, and I was like, ha ha ha. And so I thought, okay, we're done with this. And I still heard her in the background going, no. But I had to move on at that point, because we were past time, and I felt so bad. But I was like, I really don't know what else to tell you, because you have told me one thing, you have shown me 3 different things, and I'm not even sure if I know what you're talking about. So one of the things I will tell you, if you have an error, learn how to hide it with your face until you fix it in the background. That's number 1. Number 2, don't hesitate to message CCT if kids are offline, whether they never entered the classroom at all, or whether they were and then they're offline, back on, back off, because it may be system errors, etc. Number 3, if you don't know your stickers, you better get to know them, because some of these kids are very adamant about which sticker they want. And I have other celebrations other than stickers, but I wanted to throw that out there. So if you have any questions or if you have any concerns, please let me know. And you're also welcome to use my teacher code if you want, and I can be your mentor. It's P as in Paul, J, K, Z as in zebra, T, R as in Randy. So PJKZTR. Please feel free to use my referral code, and I will drop it below. And I'll make sure I come back and post videos of other mishaps so that maybe I can help you through them, or I can just put you at ease about the whole process. But overall, love Qkids. Couldn't ask for a better place to work. All right, you guys, have a great day. Bye.